Hi, guys. Hello. Come on in. YouTube, we finally got you live. It's been such a hit or miss. Hello, hello, hello. It's been such a hit or miss with YouTube lives. So, um, I'm glad you guys are able to come on. I'm glad you were able to come on. Right. Hello. Hey, Janae. Hi, hi. I'm so excited that I think you that you're here, girl. We are gonna go ahead and get started. I'm just making sure that everything's good on YouTube Live as well, so that this live can go up for you guys. Hey, Ty, how are you? How are you? We are going to get started. I'm so excited about today's topic. As you can tell, I decided to try and fit the theme of the topic today. So I have on like my little cute earrings, even though I like cute earrings in general. You guys know I love style. Like I love to get dressed. I love, love, love kind of just embracing that part of femininity. I know we're going to talk about my story and the seasons of my life where I wasn't always able to embrace dressing up and kind of really tapping into my feminine style and learning what that looked like for me. Yes. Oh, hey, I'm good. I can tell that you are too. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I'm good. It's almost Christmas. I decided to put on my green dress with the lace. We're going to be talking about all of those good things today. And I think this is lace. It's some sort of design. I don't know if you can see it on Instagram or not, but I will call it lace, but it's like not traditional. It's not the traditional design of lace, but I don't know, it's somewhat like square sort of design, but I liked it. And so I'm calling it lace today. But we are gonna go ahead and get started because I don't want to keep you guys too long. We should be on here maybe about 20 to 30 minutes. And sometimes I'll say that and then the live will go longer and I'm like, we're just gonna have fun. How about that? But my goal is to not have you guys on long. And so if you saw today's marketing or any of the things that we put out, I know there were some ads and things that my team ran as it relates to this particular live. And so we're going to be talking about femininity and fashion today. We're going to be talking about femininity and fashion. And I want you guys to put in the chat, or if you're watching the replay, whenever you come in, I want you guys to kind of tell me where you like your thoughts about femininity and fashion. Tell me if that's something that you really like resonate with as a woman. Are you really in tune to your style and your fashion sense? Tell me if you're like a advanced at it. Tell me if you're a beginner, like you're just now getting into these topics about style and really caring about your appearance and kind of thinking about how you want to present yourself in different environments and different things like that. Or tell me if you're somewhere in the middle. So if you're a beginner, tell me I'm a beginner, I'm at part one. If you are somewhere in the middle, say intermediate, part two. And if you are advanced at this and you're like, girl, I want you to like actually beat me in on the live, you're advanced. And then just tell me if you're advanced. And so as I get started, the first point that I wanted to make about style and femininity is you guys know that when you come to me and we deal with all the aspects of a woman's self-growth journey, I'm always going to talk to you in some form or fashion about the money part, right? Because especially with style, especially with fashion, one of the things that can get us, I see some twos, yes, intermediate, restarting again. Okay, I love it. I love it. We're going to get into my story of when I had to restart after law school. Oh, it was terrible. Like, it was terrible. In law school, I was always in like jogging pants or like workout gear. I was like knee deep and stuff. So we're going to get into how you come back. Nikita said, I love dressing up. I think I'm pretty intermediate. Yes, I think my style changes with the year. I love that. The seasons will have us changing our style. It definitely will. And so one of the things that I wanted to just bring up with style that I think hinders a lot of women sometimes when it comes to this issue is the money part, right? Because fashion, like, it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be expensive. You don't have to spend a lot of money to have style, but you do have to spend money, right? You know, as a woman, our bodies change, all sorts of things go on, and sometimes you have to reinvest in your wardrobe so that when you show up, you are still showing up in the way that you want to, as a woman who is growing, as a woman who is in learning her value, maybe coming out of some situations. You still have to be ready to invest in yourself in that way. And so I know for me, one of the things that I had to do when I was like beginning my self growth journey, and as I've been on my self growth journey, is I had to learn how to be stylish on a budget in certain seasons, right? The season that I'm in now that I'm in my third stage of womanhood. And if you guys know, I teach that there are 4 stages to your personal growth journey as a woman. That first stage is your beginning stage. I call you my star. That's when you're waking up to your self growth journey. Stage 2, I call you my bosses. That's when you're in your capable, sort of independent woman stage. Stage 3, you are my money making queens. You guys are really into your bags. You're really into building passive income, building out investment income. You also probably have a really solid career. And stage 4 is when you're like in Auntie Oprah stage. You're the mama, the grandmama. You're in like your divine queen stage. All of the areas of your life, there's no area of your life that's unturned, right? You're very developed. You have so much value that you're offering to us as women. And I can't wait to get to my 4th stage. I'm excited about that stage, but I am moving about 4 years into my 3rd stage as a woman. And so your 3rd stage, in that money making stage, you're in a very abundant stage, right? So now I am in the place where I am purchasing a lot of luxury items. I'm also going to Forever 21 if I need a tank top. It's like everything that I've built on, I have access to all of those investments that I've made into my wardrobe at this stage of life, right? And so when you're styling on a budget, I wanted to talk here with my stars, specifically if you are at your first level or if you're getting back into this portion of your femininity. Here are the tips that I have for you when you are kind of navigating that. Number one for creating your style, start with your idea phase, right? How many of you keep a Pinterest page as it relates to some of your fashion and style ideas? How many of you have a Pinterest page? I think Pinterest is one of the most cost-effective ways to really like get inspiration for your style again. If you're a level 1 or if you're coming back into anything dealing with femininity and style, you first just maybe like, girl, I'm coming out of motherhood, or I've never even thought about self-growth. I started 1 year ago. I see someone say, I used to wear heels daily, but since I've been teaching, I've become a sneakerhead. You know what? I recently bought a pair of Air Forces that just they have my love right now. So I get it. If there's a season for the sneakerheads, and I think the styling with the sneakerhead as a woman, when you really get your femininity there, you can kill it. You can kill the game sometimes as a sneakerhead. So one of the things that I'll say is first start with your inspiration. Pinterest is still one of my go-tos. I know people may be like, oh, well, duh, Dot, but it's definitely still one of my go-tos in terms of style. And I like Pinterest because you can capture just a wide range of women who are building out platforms on any style. If you want to do high elevated Chanel everything, you have that girl. She's killing the game there. And you also have the women who are like, if you're trying to develop your fitness wardrobe, with my beginners, when you're starting again, and when you're a beginner or you're starting again back into the fashion, hello, hey, thank you for joining. When you're starting again as it relates to fashion, you want to literally make sure you consider every area of your life. That's point number 2. Point number 1 is get your inspiration. Okay. Where are you being inspired? I go straight to Pinterest a lot of times. I actually, because I enjoy style so much, I'm a very stylish person, and I sometimes show up in rooms. If you know me in real life, you'll be like, Dot may be the most dressed one, or A lot of people, especially from back home, say I sometimes overdress. I don't believe in being overdressed. If you're a Libra, you may think like me, even though I'm a Cancer, but I don't believe in being overdressed. But I get that I can walk into a room and be a lot more when it comes to style. But I think as a woman, the second point is you need to consider every part of your life, right? I have a girlfriend who is a stay at home mom. In this season of her life, she used to teach English overseas, and she's done a lot with her career. And so she's moved out of that heavy space in her life and is now a stay at home mom. And she has her what is in the morning carpool. She has her carpool outfits, and her carpool outfits are, I just got these kids together, okay, and this morning may have been a rough morning, it may have been a smooth sailing morning, but I have my outfits already planned for carpool so that I'm still presentable as a mother. So whatever you do in your day-to-day life, consider how you want to show up in that space. Some spaces are more casual. So for my life, I have a professional life, right? So I have to have blazers. I need to have dresses, skirts. And a lot in my profession is more conservative. So I have a very conservative space in my closet for when I am in my official capacity as a lawyer. I am also a wife, right? And so, yes, LOL, yes, yes. I'm also a wife. And so my husband takes me out on date nights very regularly. He knows it's very important to me as a woman. And so he's always planning a different type of date night or something for us to do. And I enjoy like knowing what events we're doing so that I can appropriately show up, right? So if he wants to do something more adventurous, I have outfits where I can still be cute for a date night where we're a bit more active. If it's passive and he just kind of, me and want to show you off or whatever else, I have my really fancy date night outfits for when we're being a bit more sophisticated. I also work out a lot. So if you guys know my story, I don't know about you, like how many of you guys have different parts? What are the different areas of your life that you can kind of identify, whether you're watching the replay or if you were able to catch us live? Put it in the chat for me. Like, what parts of your life do you think you need to update your wardrobe on? I would say another area for me a few years ago was with my fitness. Okay. So fitness and nutrition is an area of my life that doesn't necessarily come naturally. Hello, thank you for coming in. Um, Fitness, it just, it's something I have to work hard at. I have to put time, I have to set aside my time for my workouts. And even more on the nutrition side, I have to like be very intentional about what I'm eating because I didn't grow up receiving like a ton of knowledge about nutrition and what to feed your body to be healthy, right? So I had to do a lot of work in that area. So I recently, a few years ago, up leveled my wardrobe around fitness so that I could be inspired to actually go work out. And that mattered to me. I don't know. Does that matter to y'all? If you work out, church. So someone said we have, I'm going to take a pause, workout, church leadership, working with children, sports, and apparel. Yes. So those are all the areas of her life. Thank you for sharing, Janae. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. I don't know if Ty or Nikita, and I saw Jatavia, you joined. So I'm not sure if you guys have different areas where you're like, hey, these are the areas of my life, and I actually need to get some style and some wardrobe and figure out kind of where I am for that season. The second tip that I wanted to say, and this kind of goes into the first. I like how everything's building. You guys know how I am. I love to build upon stuff so everybody can kind of see themselves in the teaching, right? I like to build upon stuff. So the second step is when you're talking about style on a budget. One of the things that I did in making sure that I kept my budget for my style, I began to put it as like a number on my Excel spreadsheet. And as it relates, I am one of those Excelers. I know some of you as money people, you may be like, girl, I can't stand that Excel spreadsheet. And then some of you may be like, I'm just like you. I love making sure I have my numbers out and my little sales and all of that. That's the type A in me. But I make sure to put a part of my line item budget to my style when I was starting out, right? So back at like 18, 19, when I was at like Warehouse, and that's like what you could afford, right? It was like City Trends and Rugged Warehouse. Like I have that. That's a part of my story. I'm not mad about that. Once working from home, I must reboot all stages. Oh yes. That working from home will get us because we've been in our skims, right? That Kim Kardashian skims. Yes, Nikita says yes, work, teaching, kindergarten. I want to be cute, but still appropriate. Yes, yes, for the 5 year olds. So true, because they're our babies. So you want to be appropriate for your job. That is so true, girl. My job is super conservative too. And so I have to be mindful of that. You will have look with your husband because I know Nikita, you're married too. That's what we kind of get a little more risque, right? You get more risque with your man, and definitely on vacation. I'm like, when I'm on vacation, it's a new dot. So if y'all don't want to see that part of Lindasha, you might not want a vacation with me because I'm pretty free. Not like, when we're around people, but I'm definitely much more. That's where my sultry, more risque parts of my personality will begin to show. Right. Yes. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. Like that's when I'm on a boat in the middle of the ocean somewhere. That ain't nobody business. The new. Right. That's yes. That's that. You amen. You shall show out on vacation. You show out on vacation. As a woman, just so you guys know, I love to have fun. That is so true. Like vacation, if I can't do it on vacation, like where am I gonna do it? Right? I'm not Cardi B. No one is paying me millions to get on stage and flaunt like that. And that wouldn't necessarily be. That's not the lane I chose. Right? I'm not knocking anybody for their lane, but it's not the lane I chose. But at the same time, there's an appropriate space. If you're married, you have your spouse, you have the person that you're committed to giving that part of your life to, there's a space for it. Mine is vacation. And of course, whatever you do in your bedroom with your committed spouse, hopefully you're just safe. And remember, it should be safe and pleasurable. Number two, the two things for a woman. Make sure that's going on. But that's not the subject we're talking about. We're talking about style. And you actually do. I have a style for the bedroom. It's actually a very creative place for me. But that's for a retreat. So if you come to any of my retreats, we go down that lane deeper. YouTube is not necessarily the most appropriate thing, but I do want to make sure that women understand that level of freedom and it's not an area of suppression in your life. So, but when it came to the money part, Lord have mercy, I went around the world, but we're going to recenter. Recenter. When it comes to your budget, right? I like to make sure that even in the seasons where I could only put maybe $100 a month to my style, I made sure to put that as a line item budget on my Excel spreadsheet. If you guys know anything about my online courses, a lot of them are linked below on YouTube, and they're also in my links in my bio on Instagram. But I have a whole money mastery download series that I created whereby I share with you how I literally manage my money twice a month. I manage my money twice a month on big money days. And I lay out my 7-step process and what I do from the money meditations that I do before I touch my money, and also the actual practical steps of money management. And the budget that's getting into step number 2. So on my budget with my style, that's where I had it. And so if you are struggling in that area of money, consider investing in that course. And I'm telling you, my method took me, one time I saved 2 to 3 years of our bills using the method that I give you, the literal step-by-step method. It just caused me to save money. It led to my investing journey, which is very important in terms of style because clothes cost money. That part. After you get your budget together, after you've done your envisioning, the next step is, for me, when it comes to style, it's the planning and the shopping, especially for your higher price items. So we're going to move from my stage ones. Everything I gave you, that's for the lady who's a star stage, you're starting or you're restarting on your style journey. We're going to move on to my second stage ladies, who are my bosses. So you guys are working, you're in your careers, you already have some discretionary income, maybe to invest in your style a bit more, to spend more time being creative around your femininity. And you actually want to do that because you're tired of having your work clothes on 24/7. You said that's different from the self-care line. So that's a good question. Okay. So when your self-care line item budget, you may start with style. You may break down your self-care section into items, right? So you have literally the amount of money you want to spend on new clothes, accessories, and your style, right? In self care, you also may have your skincare. I know for me, a lot of my skincare products, hey, YouTube, I don't want to forget about you guys, but a lot of things in my self care, my skincare items, they were super expensive when I was transitioning. I have my affordable drugstore items like my Clean and Clear. Actually, that's one of my staples, even still. I love my Clean and Clear blackhead eraser. I use it as an exfoliant on my skin. It works really well. So I had my like drugstore purchases and items, but as I was elevating in my skincare and testing, I also had a line item for skincare under self-care. I had a line item for healthy eating. I put healthy eating up under there. That was between self-care and also just our food budget. So in your self-care line, it may include several different things, but my style, and you guys know I like to be cute. Amen. My style portion, I had my own budget for clothing and accessories. So I did give it its own line. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining. So for my people who are in stage 2, when you have more of your discretionary income together and you are planning and shopping uniquely for your higher price items, in stage 2, I began to like scout my luxury items that I wanted to purchase. When I was in my stage 2, the stage 2 of my self growth journey, I wasn't in a place to necessarily invest heavily in the luxury bags or in the luxury pins. I have my brooches from Chanel and various things, luxury scarves. I just wasn't in a place where I could put money there when I was especially beginning my stage 2. But I definitely knew that I would be there eventually. My priorities when I was deeply in stage 2, I wanted to travel more than I wanted to buy luxury items. So I prioritized traveling the world actually in my stage 2 of my female's growth journey, right? And when I kind of got that out, then I went to the luxury price items in terms of bags and all. So just kind of see where you are as a woman, feel that out with what you want to do. But when you are envisioning your next level purchases, and planning to shop for those, for me, my phone was super important. I literally still capture a lot of the purchases that I want to make because managing my money is very important to me still. So I use the process of planning anything that I see that I want, like, oh my gosh, I saw this bag I wanted, or I saw, this, I don't know, higher price, more luxury item. I put it in its own separate list on my phone as like Dot's desire list. And if you came to my Christmas brunch on Saturday, we talked about those desire lists, right? We got together the 10 to 100 desires. My part of my desire list is my luxury item purchases. That's the first thing that I do to kind of get it so I don't keep it harbored in my heart and feel bad. Like, let's say you're in a season where you can't afford it right now, so that you don't feel bad and down and out about yourself. Take it, keep the excitement, put it in your phone and put it on your desire list. And what happens as a woman is as you build up your income, like if you go back and you take Dot's course or you take Dave Ramsey's course or Susie Orman or whoever is connecting with you as it relates to the topic of money, as you read the books, when you're doing that and you start bringing forth more money in your life, practicing what we teach, that's how you bring more into your life. You got to start practicing it, right? As you do that, you'll build up your savings, you'll build up these nest eggs, and you'll begin to then go to your desire list and be like, oh, okay, I want to purchase this item off my list this month. And your items may range in prices as well. So my phone was very important to envisioning, planning, and shopping for my higher price luxury items. Another thing that was important here was meditation. So your inner work, a lot of times in my courses, in all of my courses, you guys get inner work, you get prompts, you get exercises that I've done along my journey to really like tackle what's keeping me from my next level, right? And though my meditations became very key, I had to affirm what I wanted versus where I was, right? Because if you never do the work of putting into you something new, you'll stay exactly where you are. My mindset that was rooted in poverty, you guys kind of know my story. Go back and watch some of my old videos if you haven't seen my story on that. But you know, I didn't come from a family with a ton of financial resources. So I had a mindset when I was in that stage of my journey. I had to overcome that mindset by meditating, by speaking new things in myself daily. I'm literally I told you I'm going deeper into stage 3 now. There are things that I'm saying about money now that I never said in stage 1 because of the growth, right? And the growth that's the work. I am free to say the things like I make thousands every day from the sale of my courses. I can say that now because I'm used to making tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? Like I've already brought forth multiple six figures in my life. So if you brought forth multiple six figures in a year, the next place you're going is like literally thousands in a day is nothing for you, right? It's literally your next step. But I couldn't say that before I had manifested multiple six figures, right? In a year. And when I say that, I'm talking around across all of my income sources, right? Not just necessarily one or two, but just across all of them. I'm talking about the compound effect in terms of what's going on with my retirement. I'm talking about what's going on with my stock accounts right now. I'm talking about what's going on with equity or real estate investment trusts and all of the things that my life currently has as it relates to money, how God has brought forth all of these things so far. My next level is to be building out my passive income, which is why I'm here now. Hello, in my online school. So I'm letting God know that I'm available for more, right? That thank you, God. Like it's not that you're against where you are, right? You're not against where you are. I never teach that. Don't I love respecting all that God has done in my life. But now that I'm in this abundant third stage of my experience as a woman, I'm like, okay, God, I'm capable of taking more. And this is what I'd like to invest next. And so I just kind of deal with God like that. Like I let him know I'm available for it. And I wanted to share this story when I was in stage, like kind of moving in from stage 2 to stage 3. My best friend and I were in South Carolina. She went to college in South Carolina. So we were going back to her school for homecoming one year. And so we were doing some shopping, just getting some friendship time in. And so we walk into Victoria's Secret and she's like, looking around, we're talking, we're laughing, and I get to the counter to pay for my items, and they have like this fragrance up there. You know, Victoria's Secret had their little they have their not little fragrances. They have their fragrances that do very well for their business. It's not little at all, but they have their fragrances that do very well for their business. And there was this summer fragrance that they had out, and I smelled it, and it was just like lovely, right? And the smell made me think of an outfit. Is that correct? Has that happened to you guys? Tell me, y'all. I may be by myself, but I may be by myself on that one. But I smelled it and I was like, oh my gosh, this smells so delicious. And this is what I see. I saw a whole outfit in my head on the beach, all kinds of stuff just from the smell of that fragrance, right? And so when you're envisioning as a woman who's in stage 2 and stage 3, moving into stage 3, you're in your independence, you are being more capable, you're learning not to overwork yourself because that's the downside of stage 2. You're learning to ask for help, not delicious. Oh, it was delicious. It smelled so good. It did. Like I was just like, oh my gosh, you could eat this fragrance. That's how like it was, your nose and your throat are all connected. And I was like, you could eat the smell, but it was perfume, so you couldn't eat it. But it was delicious as a smell. And so I saw this whole outfit and I was like, oh my gosh, I got to recreate this outfit. And she just laughed at me, right? But she's been my best friend for so long. We've been best friends since we were 7. She just knows that this is that. But that's how creative you get when you're talking about developing style on a budget as a woman, right? And so I have 2 more points. In this stage, you may also use a personal shopper, right? I know I currently have a personal shopper that I use for really, really, really special pieces. things that are really hard to get, like certain luxury bags, et cetera, et cetera. And my personal shopper, I love her. Okay, she has one of those personalities where she's gonna get the job done, but she's not necessarily coming across always as the most nice until you know her. So I like people who get stuff done. Your personality quirks, I can bear that, but I like for you to get stuff done. She gets the job done. And in the world of certain luxury items, it's extremely competitive. One of the items she actually just got for me, I cannot wait to unveil it for you guys. I don't know how I'm gonna unveil it, but I'm gonna unveil it like for my followers. But she literally, I got the bag that I wanted because the lady who was in line to get it before me, so another woman had ordered it and waited on it. And honestly, she called up to the store and said she no longer needed it. And my personal shopper knew that I was looking for that color. And I got it because she said she didn't want it. So it was random. It was so random how sometimes your luxury items kind of come into your life. And I had to go up there within like a 24-hour period to get it. That's for your budget. Okay. I'm just letting you guys in on some little secrets when you get here. That's why your budget is important. Because if you ain't have it on deck, no, but I can see the correlation happening. Yes. Oh, good, Ty. Yes, yes, yes. Get your budgets together because it gets a bit competitive for some of the items that you want. So I use my phone to capture ideas. I use a personal shopper. Meditation was important to envisioning, planning, and shopping for my higher price luxury items. And then I said, have, I think I said alerts. I can't, y'all know I have my journal. I can't, I think that was alerts. But we'll move forward. So that is for the woman who's in stage 2 to stage 3. My last set of tips is about how you level up from beginner to basic, or from like a basic beginner to the high value feminine woman with your wardrobe. And this was easy. It was make sure you have some classic pieces in your wardrobe. I started there. I made very classic pieces as my base. You're talking about your jeans, your little black dress, things that every woman should have in her closet, no matter what, right? If you're a woman and you're kind of at a certain age, you'll be invited to events or birthday parties or whatever, employment functions where you need certain things. You need nice jeans, you need a little black dress. I'm a fan of having some beautiful classic color tops in your tans and your whites. For me, my favorite store to get these from, honestly, is Banana Republic. Their stuff fits me well, right? It fits me well. I just go in Banana Republic. If I'm looking for something that's a classic or a staple in my wardrobe, I normally am able to get it there. You need to find 1 to 2 stores that your style and your fit, that's your go-to when you need a basic piece, right? So you don't spend a lot of energy having to go find it. So I don't at this stage, I did that work a long time ago. I know when I need a classic item for my wardrobe, Banana Republic is my go-to, right? Before my budget got to where it is now, I would say probably Macy's was my go-to. Macy's, I did a lot at Dillard's actually was a bit more elevated for me. I felt like Macy's had a wider range of prices, and I generally could find something nice at Macy's. I know Macy's may sound like, I hope it don't sound too big for most of you, but usually you can find something pretty solid and classic from a Macy's too. If you really, really are starting out, it would be like you're Forever 21. And it would just, do the job. And you're probably in college. When I was in my college days, that was my go-to. Okay. Lindasha would be in Forever 21. And that's just because they had a lot of options and it wasn't too expensive. It fit my budget. Then also, as you're talking about your high value feminine beauty, the tip I have is you need to have dresses as you're elevating, right? You're a woman. I know some people have some issues with dresses, but find you a few, 1 or 2, if you're not super girly like the rest of us. If you're super girly, this is not a problem for you. But if you're like, girl, I don't know about all the dresses, find you 1 or 2 that you actually like and just go build from there, sis. You're still a woman. So there's something, that's very beautiful about us embracing that, right? I would say also, if you're building out your feminine wardrobe as a high value woman, I believe in having a very feminine wardrobe at this stage of my life because it matters. I am in rooms, and this may not be something that is politically correct. I don't know. Don't come for me. Whenever you're watching this, don't come for me. But I'm in a room where I go into rooms sometimes where the men want the women to move like women. I don't know how else to say it. And so when I say that, they're not interested in having a conversation with a man, if that makes sense. Like if they wanted the whole, hear me roar woman, that's something we need to do amongst us, right? Nothing's wrong with women's empowerment. You guys know I'm all for it. But there are certain rooms when you are in elevated rooms with men, they're not interested necessarily in hearing that in social settings. They want a more relaxed, more comfortable, more safe environment, um, where they don't feel like they have to deal with that tug of war that we see in the world between men and women. It's just out here terrible now. So you want your dresses, your florals, your jewels, your lace, if you are going to be walking in certain elevated rooms. As a high value woman who is moving to a high value wife, that's my number 5. That's when you're deep into your 3rd stage and moving into your 4th stage. If you are, I think even if you're in same sex relationships, I do tend to see that in high value rooms, because I am in rooms where people are in same sex relationships. And even in those rooms, I tend to see, although they may be the same biological sex, one person takes on the masculine energy and one person takes on the feminine energy. So if you are going to be the woman or take on the feminine energy in a relationship, if you're in a same sex relationship, then I think the biggest thing there is to listen to the individual that you are mating with, right? That you dress as a woman, as a wife, in a way that's very appealing to him. Now, I will put a caution there for those of you who are in the dating world and you haven't found that high value man that you are connected to and in love with, and you can sacrifice your independence because he's proven to be worthy and stable. Then if you're dealing with men who are still growing, sometimes you may not be able to take their ideas to heart because they can mislead you. So if your man or the men you're dating aren't of a great quality right now, and when I say that, I mean they're on their journey. Hopefully you're only dating men that, Lord have mercy. If you over 30, this is a different conversation. If you're in your 20s or your teens, you're dating, you're growing. If you're over 30, I think you need to make sure you're a presentable woman, that you're doing what you need to do to have a great relationship. But I believe you should only be dating men who are ready. The men who have proven not to be ready should not receive that much of your attention. That's my thoughts. Don't come for me, okay? But if you do it in love, okay? Come for me in love if you come for me. That one's tricky. But if you're listening to a man of high value and that's the man you're married to, for the wives, listen to him. Listen to how he likes to see you. That's important to him. And you should want to satisfy the desires in a relationship. Like you want your desires satisfied, he should have his satisfied. For the men that are still growing, don't let him mislead you, sis. Because some men can see that you're very valuable and they enjoy you and they want to keep you stuck. Right? So make sure you use your discretion there. But those are the tips that I have today. I enjoy you guys. Let's go ahead. We're a few minutes over, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the live. But I always enjoy just spending time with you. Next week is Christmas. We will not be here next week, but we will be back live the week after. And then, of course, with January, my goal is to keep it going once a week. So I appreciate you guys, and make sure that you check out the courses in the links in my bio if you need some of the work that I referred to. I'm also pre-selling for my beginners a new intro to self-growth course. It's $97. It's a masterclass. It's not a course. It's a masterclass. We're actually going to be filming that live on January the 7th, but we're pre-selling it now. So you should find the links definitely on YouTube. And also I think it's on Instagram. I'll have to check and make sure that was uploaded. But we are pre-selling that. It's $97. There are so many of you who are like, I want Lindasha as a mentor. Is some of y'all even been talking to Curtis? Like, Curtis's family. I don't even know when y'all watch this. My husband's family members, like they're coming like, I want Doc to mentor me. And I'm like, hey y'all, hey, my Jamison family. But I am going to do this intro course to start out because my schedule doesn't allot for it. With also the law firm sometimes to do the individual one-on-one at an affordable rate. That's why I started the online school. But I definitely want you guys to get into that pre-sale. $97 is the intro to self-growth, and it'll be all things for the beginners. I am considering doing a private mentoring group. I'm considering it, but that will be the prerequisite, right? You'll have to go through the intro to self growth first so you can kind of see more about my philosophies if you can't like pick it up from the lives. But okay, guys, so you enjoy. Bye, y'all. Bye, YouTube. We're ending the stream now. And Instagram, I will see you guys.